Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening.
The spaceport of New Alexandria buzzed with a mix of anxiety and excitement as the alien envoy ship descended from the gray, cloud-covered sky. Alex Carter, a tall man with an easy smile and sharp eyes, was at the forefront of the crowd, clipboard in hand, as he checked off the last of the preparations. "Everything appears to be in order, Alex. You think this will go smoothly?" his colleague, Michael, asked, scanning the crowd for any signs of trouble. Alex nodded, his gaze fixed on the sleek silver spacecraft as it touched down with a hiss and a gentle thud. "It should, as long as everyone sticks to the protocol. Keep your translator on. You know how tricky alien dialects can be?" The ship's doors hissed open, and a ramp descended. The first to appear was Kayla, her skin shimmering like the surface of a starlit ocean. She was followed by her delegation, all adorned in vibrant attire that contrasted starkly with the muted earth tones of the human welcoming committee. Alex stepped forward, extending a hand. "Welcome to Earth. I'm Alex Carter, Director of Interstellar Relations. This is my team." Kayla's eyes sparkled with curiosity as she took Alex's hand, her touch light but firm. "A pleasure, Director Carter. I am Kayla of Zarnath. Your planet is much talked about across the stars." Michael leaned in, his translator discreetly tucked behind his ear. "What do they say about us?" he chimed in with a grin. "They say you are a young species, bold and full of potential," Kayla replied, her voice melodic yet powerful. "I am here to see it for myself." As they walked towards the main hall of the spaceport, Alex introduced the other members of his team. Each handshake was met with warm smiles and nods, an exchange of pleasantries underpinning the significant event. The air was thick with the scents of the earth, floral and fresh, mingled with the sterile tang of the spaceport. "So, what brings you to our corner of the galaxy?" Alex asked as they settled into a more comfortable pace. "Our mission is one of peace and understanding," Kayla explained. "We seek to learn from those we meet and, hopefully, share knowledge beneficial to all." Alex noticed her glancing around, taking in the architecture and the bustling movement of people. "Our city is a bit of a melting pot," he commented. "Many cultures, human and otherwise, converge here. New Alexandria is more than just Earth's capital. It's a crossroads for many interstellar paths." "That sounds intriguing," Kayla mused. "I am keen to learn how such diversity is managed in peace." As they approached the hall, reporters and officials gathered, their cameras and recorders poised. Alex raised his hands, signaling for quiet. "Let's save some stories for the press conference," he suggested, ushering the group into the quieter confines of the hall. "For now, let's focus on getting to know each other and setting the stage for fruitful discussions." Kayla nodded, her gaze lingering on Alex for a moment longer than necessary. "Lead the way, Director Carter." Inside, the atmosphere was calmer. Alex directed the delegation towards a series of tables laden with Earth delicacies, from fruits to pastries, all adapted to suit various alien diets. "As part of our welcome, we've prepared some Earth cuisine for you to try," Alex announced, gesturing towards the tables. "Each dish has been selected to accommodate different dietary requirements." Kayla smiled, her eyes scanning the array of food. "You are most considerate, Director. We are grateful for such hospitality." The rest of the evening was spent in light conversation, laughter mingling with the clink of glasses. Alex and his team shared stories of Earth cities, seas, and skies. In return, Kayla spoke of Zarnatha's crystal forests and luminous rivers, her words painting vivid pictures that captivated her listeners. As the event wound down, Alex and Michael walked Kayla back to her ship. "We hope your stay here is both pleasant and enlightening," Alex said. Kayla's smile was enigmatic. "I am certain it will be, Director Carter. I look forward to our time together." Watching the alien ship close its doors, Alex turned to Michael. "What do you think?" Michael shrugged, his expression thoughtful. "I think we've just stepped into a much larger world." Together, they walked back to the command center, their minds racing with possibilities for the days ahead. Alex and Michael led Kayla and her delegation into the Cultural Exchange Center early the next morning. The large, dome-shaped building was a hub for interspecies interaction, filled with exhibits and interactive areas designed to showcase Earth's diverse cultures. Today should be quite the experience, Alex commented as they entered the main hall, bustling with activity as staff made final preparations. Kayla, looking intrigued by the various displays, nodded. I am eager to learn more about your species. Let's start with some history, Michael suggested, guiding them toward a holographic display that illustrated the timeline of human civilization. This will give you an overview of where we've come from. As they approached the display, another member of the human delegation, Tom, joined them. He was an expert in human history, with a knack for storytelling. Welcome, Kayla. I'm Tom, he said, shaking her hand. I'll be helping you navigate through our past. Kayla smiled, her attention caught by the glowing images floating in midair. Your technology is quite impressive, Tom chuckled. Wait until you see what comes next. He gestured to the display, which began with the ancient civilizations of Earth. Here we start with the early developments in Mesopotamia and Egypt, moving forward through time to the present day. As the group moved from one era to another, Kayla asked insightful questions, often drawing parallels to her own world's history. Alex noticed her deep fascination with human art and culture, particularly during the Renaissance period. Your species has a rich history of art and science, she remarked. It's beautiful how it reflects the evolution of your societies. We find that art often bridges gaps between different cultures, Alex replied. Speaking of which, we've arranged some workshops where you can experience human artistry firsthand. They proceeded to a series of interactive workshops where artisans demonstrated pottery making, painting, and digital art creation. Kayla and her team tried their hands at each activity, laughing and exchanging tips with their human instructors. Michael, watching them enjoy the pottery wheel, leaned over to Alex. Looks like they're getting the hang of it. Yeah, it's great to see such engagement, Alex agreed. It's these kinds of experiences that foster real understanding. Next, they visited a music section where a small orchestra was setting up. Music is another vital aspect of our culture, Alex explained. Each instrument you see has its own history and significance. A musician approached, holding a violin. Would anyone like to try? He asked, offering the violin to Kayla. With a tentative smile, Kayla accepted the instrument, gently placing it under her chin as the musician showed her the correct posture. The first few notes were hesitant and scratchy, but soon she found a smoother tone, her face lighting up with delight. Music transcends language, she said, handing back the violin. It speaks directly to the soul. As the day drew to a close, the group gathered for a traditional earth meal in the center's dining hall. The tables were laden with dishes from various cultures, each labeled with its origin and ingredients. This is a feast for the senses, Kayla observed, sampling a piece of sushi. Each flavor is distinct and rich. We hope to give you a taste of our world, Alex said, pleased with her reaction. It's all part of understanding who we are. As they ate, the conversation flowed freely, covering topics from technology to philosophy. Kayla shared more about Zarnath, describing her planet's recent advancements and challenges. We have much in common, yet much to learn from each other, she concluded, her eyes meeting Alex's. Today was enlightening. I'm glad to hear that, Alex responded warmly. And there's still more to explore. As they left the dining hall, Alex and Michael debriefed quietly. She's genuinely interested in our culture, Michael noted. This could be the beginning of something significant. Alex nodded, thoughtful. Let's make sure we keep building on this momentum. Together, they walked back through the now quiet halls of the Cultural Exchange Center, their minds full of ideas for the next day's agenda, hopeful about the bonds being formed. The following morning, Alex and Michael met early at the command center to plan the day's events, which included a private tour of Earth's technological advancements in renewable energy. So, we're starting at the solar fields, then heading over to the wind turbine facility, and finally, the biodome? Michael confirmed, reviewing the schedule on his digital pad. That's the plan, Alex replied. Kayla seemed interested in how we integrate technology with nature, so it should be right up her alley. The delegation arrived shortly after, with Kayla expressing her eagerness to begin. I am particularly interested in your energy solutions. Our planet has similar initiatives, she said. Great. We have some cutting-edge projects to show you, Alex said as they boarded the eco-friendly transport. As they traveled, Tom, who had joined them again, initiated a discussion about the potential for technological collaboration. There's a lot we can learn from each other, especially in terms of sustainable practices, he suggested. Kayla nodded thoughtfully. Indeed, sharing knowledge is a cornerstone of progress. Their first stop was the vast solar field outside New Alexandria. The project manager, Carl, greeted them warmly. Welcome. Let me show you around, he said, leading the group through rows of high-efficiency solar panels. As they walked, Carl explained the technical details of the panel's design and operation. Kayla listened intently, occasionally asking technical questions that Carl answered with enthusiasm. It's impressive, Kayla admitted as she inspected a panel up close. Your approach to harnessing the sun's energy is quite advanced. We're proud of what we've achieved here, Carl responded. But we're always looking to improve. Next, they visited the wind turbine facility, where they were met by the site engineer, Dave. He took them to the control room and showed them the data visualization tools they use to optimize turbine performance. These turbines are connected to an AI that predicts weather patterns and adjusts their operation to maximize output, Dave explained. Kayla, fascinated, turned to Alex. This integration of AI with environmental technology, it's very forward-thinking. Alex smiled. We try our best. Perhaps there's room for a joint project in the future? Perhaps there is, Kayla said, a spark of possibility in her eyes. Their final stop was the biodome, a large structure replicating various Earth ecosystems. Here, they were introduced to Dr. Henry, a biologist specializing in biodiversity. As you can see, we simulate different biomes to study plant growth and develop better agricultural techniques, Dr. Henry explained, guiding them through a lush rainforest section. Kayla touched the leaves of a particularly exotic plant. Do you have challenges with cross-biome plant integration? Occasionally, yes, Dr. Henry admitted. It's a delicate balance, but it's vital for understanding ecological interactions. Throughout the tour, Michael took notes on Kayla's interests, whispering to Alex, she's really into this. We should consider a proposal for a collaborative project. I was thinking the same, Alex whispered back. Let's draft something up tonight. As they left the biodome, Kayla turned to the group. Today has been incredibly informative. Your advances in ecological technology are commendable. We're glad you think so, Alex replied. We believe that by sharing our knowledge, we can help not just our own planet, but others as well. Kayla smiled. I look forward to discussing how we can work together. Maybe over dinner? A less formal setting might spur more creative ideas. That sounds like a perfect idea, Alex agreed, pleased with the direction their interactions were taking. As they rode back to the city, the conversation turned lighter, filled with laughter and shared stories. The seed of collaboration had been planted, and both sides seemed eager to see it grow. Back at the command center, Alex and Michael stayed late into the evening, drafting a proposal for a joint initiative based on the day's discoveries and discussions. This could be the start of something big, Michael said, excitement in his voice. Alex nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment. Let's make sure it is. With the proposal taking shape, they were optimistic about the upcoming dinner. It was not just a meal but a gateway to a potential partnership that could benefit both their worlds. As the sun dipped below the skyline of New Alexandria, casting a golden glow across the bustling city, Alex and Michael prepared for the informal dinner with Kayla. They selected a quiet, upscale restaurant known for its privacy and excellent cuisine, a perfect setting for intimate discussions. Think she'll go for our proposal? Michael asked as they reviewed the document one final time. Alex glanced over the notes, feeling confident. If today's interest was any indication, I think she'll be more than open to it. The venue was serene, with ambient lighting and soft music setting a relaxed tone. They arrived early to ensure everything was in place. As they were seated, Tom joined them, bringing his expertise in intercultural relations. Evening, gentlemen. Ready for a potentially historic dinner? Tom greeted them, a hint of excitement in his voice. Let's hope it turns out that way, Michael responded, adjusting his tie slightly. Kayla arrived promptly, her presence commanding yet graceful. She greeted each of them with a warm smile, settling into the conversation with ease. As lovely as this city is at night, your company makes it even more delightful, Kayla started, her eyes twinkling in the dim light. Alex returned the smile. We're glad you're enjoying your visit. We've prepared something we hope will interest you further. The dinner started with light appetizers as the conversation flowed smoothly from earlier topics about technology and sustainability to personal anecdotes about travel and discovery. After the main course was served, Alex decided it was time to broach the subject of the proposal. Kayla, we've been greatly inspired by your passion for technology and the environment, he began, his tone serious yet inviting. It led us to draft a proposal for a joint venture between Earth and Zarnath, focusing on sustainable technologies. Kayla's interest was piqued, her posture shifting to one of keen attention. That sounds intriguing. What exactly are you proposing? Tom took the lead, outlining the main points of the proposal. We envision a collaborative effort to develop new energy solutions that could be beneficial for both our planets. This would include shared research facilities, technology exchanges, and a biannual symposium. Kayla listened intently, nodding along. The idea of a symposium is excellent. It would serve as a great platform for ongoing dialogue and innovation. Encouraged by her response, Michael added, we also thought about student and professional exchange programs to foster a deeper understanding and working relationship. I must confess, Kayla said after a moment of reflection, I came here primarily to assess Earth's progress and potential from a diplomatic standpoint. But what I found was not just innovative technology, but also potential partners who share a vision for a better future. Her candid admission brought a round of smiles. We're honored you think so, Alex replied. We believe this partnership could lead to significant breakthroughs. As dessert arrived, a light, crafted confection that seemed almost too delicate to eat, the discussion took a more personal turn. Kayla shared more about her life on Zarnath, her responsibilities, and her dreams. And what about you, Alex? What drives you in this line of work? She inquired, her gaze fixed on him. Alex paused, considering his words. The possibility of making a real difference, not just for my planet, but for the universe. It's about leaving a legacy of cooperation and progress. Kayla's expression softened. A noble ambition, she acknowledged. As the evening drew to a close, the group was in high spirits. Kayla agreed to take the proposal back to her government with a strong endorsement. Walking out of the restaurant, Kayla turned to Alex. Tonight was more enlightening than I anticipated. Thank you for the hospitality and for sharing your vision. Alex felt a sense of accomplishment as he watched her depart. The pleasure was all ours. Safe travels, Kayla. Returning to his car with Michael and Tom, he couldn't help but feel optimistic. I think we just took the first step towards something groundbreaking. Agreed, Tom added. Here's to a fruitful collaboration. As the city lights twinkled in the distance, mirroring the stars above, the path ahead seemed a little brighter. The following evening, Alex and Michael organized a formal ball in honor of Kayla and her delegation. The event was held at the Grand Hall, a stunning venue known for its opulent architecture and expansive dance floors. The idea was to blend a traditional Earth gala with elements of Zarnathian culture, creating an environment where both humans and aliens felt welcomed and appreciated. As the venue filled with guests, Alex adjusted his tuxedo and checked in with Michael, who was overseeing the final arrangements. Everything set for the night? Alex asked, surveying the hall adorned with exotic flowers and ambient lights. Just about, Michael responded, his eyes scanning the room. The orchestra is tuned, the culinary team is ready, and the media is in place. It's going to be a night to remember. Tom joined them, his eyes bright with excitement. I've arranged for translators at every table and cultural facilitators roaming the floor. We're all set for a smooth evening. As guests mingled, the orchestra began playing a soft melody, setting the tone for the evening. Kayla arrived, looking radiant in a gown that shimmered like the night sky. Alex approached her with a warm smile, offering his arm. Kayla, you look stunning. May I have the first dance? Kayla accepted with a graceful nod, her hand resting lightly on his arm. Thank you, Alex. I would be honored. As they stepped onto the dance floor, The music swelled into a beautiful, slow piece, allowing them to glide effortlessly across the floor. "You are quite the dancer," Kayla commented, clearly impressed. "I've had good teachers," Alex replied with a modest smile. "And the setting certainly helps." Around them, the dance floor filled with couples, the room buzzing with a mix of languages and laughter. Michael and Tom joined in, each partnering with members of the Zarnathian delegation, their movements a blend of human and alien grace. During a brief pause in the dancing, Alex led Kayla to a balcony overlooking the city. The cool night air was a refreshing contrast to the warmth of the ballroom. "It's beautiful out here," Kayla remarked, looking out at the twinkling lights. "It's a view I never tire of," Alex agreed. "It reminds me why we strive so hard to build bridges like this." Kayla turned to face him, her expression thoughtful. "Alex, I want to thank you for this evening. It's more than just a gala. It's a symbol of what we can achieve together." "I'm glad you feel that way," Alex said, feeling a connection that went beyond their professional interaction. "I believe tonight will lead to many great things between our people." As the night progressed, the atmosphere in the ballroom grew more vibrant. The orchestra shifted to livelier tunes, prompting more spirited dances. Alex and Kayla returned to the floor, their earlier conversations adding depth to their smiles and glances. Michael and Tom watched from the sidelines, pleased with the night's success. "Look at them," Michael said to Tom. "I think we're witnessing the start of something significant." "Indeed," Tom replied, his gaze following the dancing couples. "It's not just about treaties and technologies. It's about people, about connections." The ball concluded with a final, sweeping number from the orchestra, the music echoing the sentiment of new beginnings and hopeful prospects. Guests departed with smiles and warm farewells, the night deemed a success by all accounts. As they helped oversee the departure of the last guests, Alex, Michael, and Tom shared a moment of quiet satisfaction. "Tonight was perfect," Alex said, his eyes still following the departing figure of Kayla. "Now we build on this." "Absolutely," Michael agreed. "Let's make sure this momentum carries forward." With a collective nod, they left the now quiet grand hall, their minds full of plans and possibilities, the successful evening fueling their aspirations for a fruitful collaboration. After the success of the gala, Alex and Michael decided to organize a more intimate gathering at a secluded garden in the heart of New Alexandria. The aim was to solidify the budding relationships formed during the previous events and discuss the proposed joint venture in a relaxed, natural setting. As they arrived early to ensure everything was perfectly arranged, Alex checked every detail, from the soft lighting among the trees to the placement of comfortable seating areas. "This should make for a memorable evening," Michael commented, helping finalize the placement of the last few lanterns. "The setting is perfect for open, honest discussions." "Exactly what we're aiming for," Alex replied. He looked up as Kayla and her delegation approached, their figures illuminated by the garden's gentle lights. "Good evening, Kayla. I hope you find the garden to your liking." Kayla's eyes lit up as she took in the serene surroundings. "It's beautiful, Alex. A perfect place for peaceful conversations." They settled into an inviting seating area, where Tom was already waiting with refreshments. The conversation started lightly, with Kayla sharing anecdotes about Zarnathian gardens, which were known for their bioluminescent plants. "As much as I enjoy your stories about Zarnath, I'm particularly keen to discuss our potential collaboration." Alex shifted the topic, his tone still warm but with a hint of formality. Kayla nodded, her demeanor turning serious. "I've given it much thought. Your proposal is comprehensive, but I believe we need a deeper understanding of each other's technologies and methodologies to ensure success." "That's a fair point," Michael chimed in, leaning forward. "Perhaps we could start with a pilot project? Something small-scale that allows both sides to adjust and learn from each other." Kayla considered this, then smiled. "A pilot project sounds like an excellent starting point. It would give us the practical experience we need to build on." Encouraged by her response, Tom suggested, "Why not begin with something in the field of renewable energy? We've seen significant interest from both our peoples in this area." "Renewable energy is a cornerstone of sustainable development," Kayla agreed. "It's a shared interest that could serve as solid common ground." As they discussed potential areas for the pilot project, The atmosphere grew more collaborative and enthusiastic. Ideas flowed freely, and plans began to take shape. Let's set up teams from both sides to work out the technical details and come up with a proposal for the pilot project, Alex proposed. Everyone agreed, marking a decisive step forward in their partnership. The conversation then shifted to a more personal tone as the evening progressed. Kayla opened up about her motivations and fears regarding the interstellar partnership. "I must admit, this is uncharted territory for us," she confessed, her gaze steady on Alex. "The idea of working so closely with another species is daunting, but also exciting." Alex listened intently, nodding in understanding. "It's a leap of faith for us as well, Kayla, but I believe in the potential of what we're trying to achieve together." As the night drew to a close, they all stood, feeling a sense of accomplishment and mutual respect. "Tonight has been incredibly productive," Kayla said, extending her hand to Alex. "Thank you for your hospitality and your openness." Alex shook her hand, feeling the firmness of her grip. "The pleasure is ours, Kayla. Here's to a successful partnership." As they walked her back to her transport, the garden's lights casting long shadows on the path, Michael leaned over to Alex. "I think we just made history, my friend." Alex smiled, watching the lights flicker gently. "Yes, we did. And there's more to come." They returned to the seating area, reviewing their notes from the evening, both satisfied with the progress and eager to see what the future would bring. After the breakthrough in their discussions about the pilot project, Alex arranged for a private meeting at his office to finalize the details with Kayla. He was joined by Michael, who brought his expertise in project management, and Tom, who provided insight into intercultural communication. The morning was brisk, the city of New Alexandria alive with the buzz of morning commuters as Kayla arrived at the office, her demeanor serious but hopeful. "Good morning, Alex, Michael, Tom." She greeted them warmly. "I've been looking forward to our meeting today." "Good morning, Kayla," Alex replied, offering her a seat at the conference table. "We've put together some thoughts on the pilot project based on our last conversation. We're eager to get your feedback." Michael laid out the documents in front of Kayla, who scanned them thoughtfully. "This looks comprehensive. I'm particularly interested in how we're addressing the technology transfer issues." Tom chimed in. "We've proposed a joint committee to oversee the transfer, ensuring that both sides understand and agree on the specifics of what's being shared." Kayla nodded approvingly. "A wise approach. It ensures transparency and builds trust." As they delved deeper into the logistics of the project, the conversation shifted towards timelines and resource allocation. Alex detailed the phases of the project, emphasizing collaboration at each step. "We plan to start with a small-scale implementation, which allows us to manage risks effectively and scale up based on early successes," Alex explained. "That aligns well with our objectives," Kayla said, her eyes reflecting a strategic thinking. "Scaling based on success mitigates our risk and allows for continuous improvement." The meeting continued with discussions on potential hurdles and mitigation strategies, with Michael taking detailed notes. The mood was focused yet optimistic. The collaboration felt tangible, a shared vision finally coming into fruition. As they wrapped up the formal part of the meeting, Alex invited Kayla to join him for a walk in the nearby park, hoping to shift from the intensity of work to a more relaxed conversation. As they strolled through the greenery, Kayla's expression softened. "Alex, I must admit, this partnership has become quite important to me, personally. It's more than just a project." "I feel the same," Alex confessed. "It's not just about the work. It's about understanding each other, learning from each other." Kayla stopped walking, turning to face him. "And yet, I find myself wondering about the implications of our interactions. We've crossed into personal territory, haven't we?" Alex met her gaze, his own mixed with professional concern and personal interest. "We have. It's natural, given the time we've spent together and the goals we share. I worry about how our personal feelings could affect our professional responsibilities," Kayla admitted, her voice tinged with caution. Alex considered this for a moment, then replied, "It's a valid concern. We need to be mindful, but I also believe that our personal connection could strengthen our collaboration, not undermine it." Kayla looked relieved but remained thoughtful. "Perhaps you are right, but we should proceed carefully." "Agreed," Alex said. Let's ensure our actions always align with our mission. Their walk continued in companionable silence, each lost in thought about the dual paths they were navigating, professional and personal. Returning to the office, they found Michael and Tom reviewing the morning's decisions. "Everything looks good here," Michael said, looking up. "How was the walk?" "Productive," Alex replied with a smile, exchanging a knowing look with Kayla. As Kayla prepared to leave, she turned to Alex. "Thank you for today. For everything." "It's my pleasure, Kayla." "Safe travels back," Alex said, his farewell warm but tinged with unspoken sentiments. Watching her depart, Alex felt a mix of satisfaction and anticipation. The project was on track, but their personal story was still unfolding, its ending yet unwritten. As the collaboration between Earth and Zarnath progressed, the relationship between Alex and Kayla deepened, moving beyond mere professional courtesy to something more personal and profound. The upcoming closing ceremony of the initial phase of the pilot project offered a perfect backdrop to address both their professional achievements and personal developments. Alex sat in his office, reviewing his speech for the ceremony, when Michael knocked and entered, a concerned look on his face. "Alex, do you have a minute?" Michael asked, closing the door behind him. "Of course," Alex responded, setting aside his notes. "What's on your mind?" "It's about you and Kayla," Michael started, hesitating slightly. "Everyone's noticed how close you two have become. While it's not my place to pry into personal matters, we need to consider the optics. People are talking." Alex sighed, his expression sobering. "I know, and you're right. It's something Kayla and I have been cautious about. But I believe what we have could actually benefit our partnership, not jeopardize it." "Just be careful," Michael advised, his tone supportive yet wary. "We don't want personal feelings clouding any professional judgments." "Understood." Alex nodded, appreciating Michael's concern. The day of the ceremony arrived, and the atmosphere was charged with excitement and a sense of accomplishment. The venue was elegantly decorated, reflecting the success of the Earth-Zarnath collaboration. As guests arrived, Alex and Michael greeted them, ensuring everything was set for the evening's events. Kayla arrived, looking elegant and composed. As she approached Alex, there was a subtle but unmistakable warmth between them. "Alex, this evening is a testament to what we've built together," Kayla said, her eyes meeting his with an intensity that spoke volumes. "And to what we may build in the future," Alex replied, his words laden with dual meaning. As the ceremony began, Alex took to the podium, delivering his speech with a sense of pride and optimism. He spoke of the achievements and challenges, the learning and growth that characterized the joint venture. After the formal speeches, as the floor opened for a casual mingling, Tom joined Alex and Michael, glass in hand. "Alex, that was a solid speech. You nailed the essence of this project," Tom complimented, then glanced towards Kayla. "Seems like you two have managed a professional balance after all." "We're trying our best," Alex admitted. "Tonight might be a turning point, for many reasons." The evening progressed with laughter and lively discussions. Eventually, Kayla pulled Alex aside for a private moment. "Alex, about what we've discussed before. Regarding us," she began, her voice low. "I think it's clear that our initial interactions might have started on a mistaken intent on my part. I was trying to understand humans, maybe even manipulate a little to foster alliances through personal bonds. But it's turned into something real." Alex listened, his expression a mix of surprise and relief. "Kayla, knowing this doesn't change how I feel. It's become much more than I anticipated as well. What started as a professional engagement has grown into something I value deeply, personally." Kayla smiled, a weight seeming to lift from her. "I'm glad to hear you say that. This alien girl was trying to seduce a human, her biggest mistake," she confessed, her tone light yet sincere. They shared a laugh, the tension easing between them. "Well, let's agree it was a fortunate mistake," Alex suggested, his hand finding hers. As the night wound down, they joined the others, their linked hands not going unnoticed. Michael caught Alex's eye, giving a subtle nod of understanding and support. The evening concluded with heartfelt goodbyes and promises to continue the successful partnership. As guests departed, Alex and Kayla lingered, discussing plans for the next phase of their project. "Whatever comes next, I'm looking forward to facing it with you," Alex said earnestly. "And I, with you," Kayla replied, her smile reflecting a shared anticipation for the future. Together, they walked back through the quiet venue, ready to tackle whatever challenges and opportunities lay ahead, both in their project and in their personal lives.